Annie, TSU broadcast joined. I don't know who that is, but we're broadcasting Tsunami. So, what's up? What's up, Jordan? Who's that? Jack, Braden, Ryder, Gloria, awesome. Kylie, what's up, guys? So Wednesday night, it's like our favorite night of the week where we just get to hang out for a little bit on Instagram, Tsunami Live. We have some people requesting to join, which is fun. Well, as you guys are joining, hey, what's up? What's up, Nikki? We're gonna play a game just while we're waiting for some people to join us. Let's go ahead and see if our other friend is available. Thanks, Courtney, for the word. Nope, not yet. We don't yet. So we're just gonna hang out. We're waiting. What's up, Emma? How are you? What's up, Tierney? So we're gonna play a game in a minute with one of our small group leaders. You guys might know her. Her name is Casey Boudreau. So we're just gonna wait until she can join us and we'll hang out. Hey, I like it when you guys respond. That's awesome. So I want to see what you guys have done today that is different. Has anyone done anything fun and exciting, different today? Let me know. I like that you guys can wave at me. That's awesome. Yes, everyone's so excited. Oh, I think we're getting Casey on. Hold on. Let's see. Yes. 3, 2. Hey!
Hey!
What's up, Casey? How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm wonderful. It's good
so
to see ya.
Good to see you too, friend.
Hey, you have Tsunami right here listening to you. What do you want to tell them?
Oh my gosh. So many things. You guys are awesome. I miss all of you. I hope everyone's doing great.
Aw.
A lot of pressure.
That's so sweet, Casey.
Aw, thanks.
Hey, but we're just gonna hang out. We're gonna play a game real quick. Is that cool?
That's cool.
All right. So it's a trivia game, and
Uh-huh.
what kind? If someone's gonna say, Casey, what are you an expert in? What would you say?
I'd have to say probably Disney.
Disney,
Maybe?
yes. Well, today we have a trivia Disney game, but I'm not going to host it. So hold on, we're going to have a guest host real quick. Let's bring in our guest host.
Oh no, no.
Hey guys, it's me, Casey, and I'm going to be doing Disney trivia with myself. It's going to be awesome. So,
I don't sound
Casey,
like that. Okay.
Are you ready for this?
I'm so ready. Born ready.
All right, here we go. The first question is, which classic Disney princess has a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame?
Snow White.
Oh my gosh, I knew I was going to get that question right. I am a genius. We're going to keep going. I think I might know the answer to all these questions since I'm you. All right, question number 2.
I'm scared.
In 1929, Mickey spoke his first words. What were they?
Hot dog.
Hot dog is correct. I am on fire. Woohoo! All right, here we go. Question number 3. What school? What school did the characters of High School Musical attend?
Oh gosh. East High.
Yes! Yes! I am so good at this game. You guys
Taylor, I
all
don't
of my knowledge. All right, here we go. Hold on one second. All right, so hey guys, if you're joining us right now and you have no idea what's happening, We are asking Casey. I can't do this. All right, we're asking Casey some questions from herself to see how much Disney stuff she knows. So we're just gonna keep going. All right, let's go. I'm glad to be back. Who was the only Disney main character to not say a word in my movie?
Dumbo?
Dumbo's correct! Guys, I think I might be cheating, but it's all in my head, so I don't think that's possible. All right, we're gonna keep going. We got two more. In Pinocchio, he and his father are consumed by a massive blue whale. What is the name of that whale?
I don't think I know that one.
Come on, Casey, you know this.
Can you repeat the question?
In Pinocchio, what was the name of the giant whale that swallowed Pinocchio? Think.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know.
Oh my gosh. Monstro! It was Monstro.
Dang
You
it.
should know that, Casey.
I know,
Bad
I
girl!
know.
Bad girl! Alright, last question. What name did Arlo give his human companion in the movie Good Dinosaur?
Oh my gosh. I haven't seen that movie in so long.
It
I don't
rhymes
know.
with
I don't
snot!
know. What?
It rhymes with snot.
The smell? What did you just say?
Oh, I cracked myself up. No, it's spot, you dum-dum. You should know that.
Okay, sorry.
All right, well, Casey, it's time to say bye to all our friends.
Okay. Bye, friends.
Bye, guys. Hope you enjoyed our game.
Bye, everyone.
All right, guys. Well, thanks for joining with us in Tsunami. I think something else is about to happen. See you guys later.
That was so odd. Like, so odd. Do you guys agree? Like, so weird. Who is Taylor? Oh my gosh. I think he's gonna laugh for the rest of the night at himself, you guys. So, moving on, more important and exciting things. So, you guys, if you've been following along over the last couple of weeks, we've been doing something called Ride the Tsunami Talent Show. And we've had a very special guest host, of course, because, he's the host of Ride the Tsunami. But he decided to ditch us tonight because apparently brie and lobster is on sale at Costco. So he decided not to show up. So that's awesome, right? I mean, way to be about your game show. But he did in his stead. Sale at Costco. So he decided not to show up. So that's awesome, right? I mean, way to be about your game show. But he did in his stead. instead send us something so that they can know what Erica looks like. You see her? There she is. This is Erica. She's great. You guys are going to love getting to know her more. But Erica, we do want to get to know you more right now. So we want to play a game. There she is. And friends, this is a game that you are going to participate in. It's really important because I'm probably not going to get this right. So we are going to play a game called Two Truths and a Lie. So what happens is Erica is going to tell us two truths and one lie. And so you guys can vote down below if it's 1, 2, or 3. If it's the first thing she says, the second thing she says, or the third thing she says. So just put 1, 2, or 3 into the chat. And I am going to choose based off of what you guys contribute. So it's really important that you participate. So I need some help. I'm here all by myself trying to guess. So Erica, take it away.
Okay. Ready, Courtney? I had to try to think of things that I have not already told you about myself.
Okay.
So, let's see. I have never had a cavity. I broke my arm roller skating, and I don't drink coffee. Let's see.
Say this one more time for me.
I've never had a cavity. I broke my arm roller skating, and I don't drink coffee.
Okay. People, I need you to tell me what you think. 1, 2, or 3. I see 1. Okay. 3, 3, 2, 1. So I'm feeling like I'm just going to go out on a limb here because I see Erica every single day on a Zoom call for work. And I don't think ever once have I seen her or heard her mention that she drinks coffee. And I always have my cup of coffee. So I'm just going to guess and go for that. So Erica, I'm picking number 3, that you do not like coffee. Is that your truth or your lie?
That is a truth. I do not drink coffee.
Is that your truth or your lie?
That is a truth.
Do you understand? I just totally destroyed that. I knew you don't drink coffee, and you said you don't drink coffee, so I just voted for the wrong thing.
That's what you picked. You're trying to pick
I didn't pick right. I knew that was true. What's wrong with me? Oh. Give us my heart. I'm not very good at this game. Friends, I need you to help. I don't understand. I'm going to go with you never had a cavity as your lie, because that would be really impressive. Is that correct?
Yes.
Never had a cavity. Okay, that's pretty impressive that you've never had a cavity. I would really like to hear some more. So I want to get to know you a little more, and hopefully I can play this game better the next round.
All right.
Trying to find the lie.
Are you ready?
Yes.
I married my high school boyfriend. I've never traveled to Europe, and I love dark chocolate.
Okay, one of these is a lie, and 2 of them are truths.
I've never traveled to Europe.
Okay, that's how this game works. Friends, help me play. 1. You think that 1 is a lie. High school boyfriend, you think that's a lie? That's what Brianna said. That's what Maddie's saying. Come on, guys. Oh, you think number 2, Sadie, is a lie. 2, 3. I'm seeing a couple. 2. Okay, tell us your 3 things again. One more time.
Okay, I married my high school boyfriend. I have never traveled to Europe, and I love dark chocolate. Okay, I married my high school boyfriend.
Okay, I'm gonna go with one of our leaders, what they said, because it's helping me because they're telling me that it's a lie, and if I don't just read what they say, I'm gonna say the wrong thing and mess up again. So I'm just gonna go with you've never been to Europe, which was number 2. Is that correct?
Yes, and I was just reading what somebody wrote. I have been to Europe in college. Whoever wrote that, you are spot on, Kenny. I think it was you.
So you have been to Europe
in college. Yes, so you got it.
I'm really, really bad at this game. Really bad. Okay, hold on. Okay,
that's what you got it.
2 truths and a lie. I know. I'm trying to find the lie, though. The lie.
You did. My lie was I never traveled to Europe. That's what you picked, but I have traveled to Europe.
I don't understand.
You did.
You're too smart for me. I can't play your game, Erica. That's why we needed you on staff. We needed someone smart because this is really sad. I can't play. Okay, you've never. Oh, I see now. It's a lie. Because this is really sad.
You found
ridiculous. Okay, so my friend, I think we may have had enough fun for a night because I'm just I'm just ridiculous is what it is. You're great. I'm not making any sense on the other side of the screen, but you're fantastic, and we are glad that you're here with us, and we're glad that you're on staff with us. Thank you, Erica, for playing along, and we will see you again soon.
Thank you, Courtney. Bye, guys.
Thank you, Erica, for playing. So, friends, now that that's over, my very embarrassing display, we are going to actually transition into a time where we're going to hear God's word. It's something that we do every single week. We learn and we grow together. And this week, we're actually wrapping up our series called Worth Repeating. And this has been a series that we've been in for a couple weeks, and it's been all about parables that Jesus spoke, words that he spoke that are worth repeating, that teach us and help us understand what God's like and who he is and how he is with us. So tonight, you guys get to hear from someone very special. You get to hear from none other than Brett Eddie. So he's going to be up here in just a second to bring tonight's message. Awesome. Love you guys. We'll see you again soon. Here is Brett. So he's going to be up here in just a second.
What's up, everybody? Hope you guys are doing well. Since Courtney is really not good with double negatives, I'm going to not do the message tonight. I need to move this back because I have an illustration here. So, all right. Hope you guys are doing really well. Man, we miss you guys. I want you guys to know that we miss you. And we're so glad that we at least be able to be in your space digitally. We would love for you to be in our space, but because we can't do that, any chance we get to be with you, we're going to come on here and do that. So anyway, I have a question for you. This is the last week of our series. We're going to get to be with you. We're going to come on here and do that. So anyway, I have a question for you. And my question for you is this. When was the last time you had an argument? When was the last time? And you're all probably looking at me like, Brett, you realize we are in quarantine. We are staying at home. We have been trapped with the same people for weeks on end. The last time I had an argument was like 5 minutes ago with my sister or my brother, with my parent. I mean, I feel like being stuck with the same people really does put us in a place where we're having arguments probably more than we normally would. But there was actually an article written that says that we spend 49 minutes a day on average arguing with our family. And that's just with our family. That doesn't take into account the time we spend at work or at school or with friends. And so arguing is kind of something that we do pretty regularly. And there's an argument that is happening on our staff. It comes up every couple of months that on the student ministry staff, this is something that's totally ridiculous that we argue about. We argue about the proper way to make an omelet. Now, I will tell you that just about everybody on staff in student ministries agrees, and there's one person who doesn't. Most of us feel as though making an omelet, you can heat up the pan, you can put your ingredients in there, like your bacon and ham and vegetables. You put all that in the pan, and then you pour the egg on top, and then you flip it, put a bunch of cheese in, fold it, you got an omelet. There's one person on staff who believes that is not how you make an omelet, and his name is Jeffrey Banks. He's our high school director, and he feels the proper way to make an omelet is to put the egg in, then you put the ingredients in, and then you flip it, or you don't flip it, you just fold it with cheese inside of it. He calls that a scromlet. And here's the deal. Jeff just thinks he knows better than all of us. That's just kind of what it comes down to. And if we're honest with ourselves, most arguments, if we kind of thought about it, is in the back of our mind, what we're telling us is that I know better. I know better than the people I'm arguing with. I know more about this, and I'm just better. I just know better. And at the heart of most disagreements, whether you want to call them arguments, fights, disagreements, misunderstandings, or drama, they happen pretty often, and behind just about every one is the thought, I know better than you. They happen pretty often. And if we're not careful, often that thought then makes the move toward the thought that I am better than you. We can very quickly move from I know better to you all the way to I actually am better. I'm just a better person. I am better. I'm more important than you. And then if we're not careful, it moves from the thought that I am better to actually becoming actions. That we begin to act as though we're better than other people, whether we are or not. Those thoughts, whether we think we're better or we actually act as though we're better, it influences our actions. Those thoughts of thinking we're better often can influence the way that we act. It changes the way that we see other people and start to act like we deserve better than other people. And because we see ourselves as better than other people, we start to act like we deserve things better. Like for you, you think you're the best soccer player on the team. And because you think you're the best and you're better than everyone else, you deserve to be the captain. And when the coach chooses someone other than you to be the captain, well, that's when you get really angry. Or maybe you're in the orchestra or the band at school, and when we actually are in school, and you think that you should be first chair. You should be the best because you're the best at that instrument. And you think you deserve that because you're better. And when you don't get it, you get frustrated. Or maybe for you, you think in your friend group, you're the best friend. You're a better friend than anyone else. And when someone in your friend group starts getting more attention than you, well, it makes you angry because you're better than that person. You're a better friend. In fact, you're just a better person. You deserve the attention. You see how thinking that we're better often leads to us having really not good thoughts and not really good actions toward the people that are around us. And it's hard to admit that the conflicts that we have with others may be actually because of us. But that doesn't mean it's not true. I mean, it's hard to stop and think that, well, you know what, maybe some of the conflicts and some of the difficulties I have in my relationships have a little bit to do with the way that I am acting, or the way that I'm thinking, or maybe I'm causing that conflict. But even though it's hard to think about it, it doesn't mean it's not true, because sometimes it is true. So what do we do about that? What do we do about the fact that we have a tendency to think that we're better than other people? What do we do about the fact that that tendency causes us to act like we're better than other people and actually causes damage to our relationships? Well, we're going to take a look at a portion of Scripture, like we've been doing in this series. We're taking a look at parables of Jesus. And parables are simply just stories that Jesus used to teach people about his kingdom. He was trying to teach people, hey, this is what the world is supposed to be like in the kingdom of God, the way that we've designed it to be. So, we're actually going to be in a passage. I forgot my Bible. We had to run and get one real quick, so I don't have it marked. But we're going to be in Luke. So it's after Mark, and it's Luke, chapter 21. Luke 14 is where we're going to be. So let me set this up for you. Luke 14, it's Jesus, and he's at a party. He's at an important person in the community has decided they're going to host a dinner party at their house. And as everybody's walking in toward the table, everybody's kind of trying to figure out where the important person is sitting because they want to sit next to that important person. See, there's a cultural thing that was going on in Jesus' time where if you thought you were really important, you tried to sit next to the person who was hosting the party or the most important person at the party. And so that was, Jesus knew that was going through people's minds. So this is what he said. It's Luke 14, verses 8 through 11. Luke wrote this, and Jesus said, when you are invited to a wedding feast, don't sit at the seat of honor. What if someone who is more distinguished than you has also been invited? The host will come up and say, give this person your seat. Then you'll be embarrassed, and you'll have to take whatever seat is left at the end of the table. Instead, take the lowest place at the foot of the table. When your host sees you, he will come and say, friend, we have a better place for you. Then you will be honored in front of all the other guests. And here's the key. He says, for those who exalt themselves, those who make themselves look better, they're going to be humble. And those who humble themselves will be exalted. So here's what Jesus is trying to get across. Jesus has this party set up. He's in this room, and what he's saying is, imagine you're at a dinner party, and you're sitting at a table. You're invited to this dinner party with a really important celebrity, like somebody super famous. So think about who that person might be in your world. That you're like, oh my gosh, if I could just sit next to that person, that'd be amazing. And since I couldn't really think of a celebrity, I know that you guys are really familiar with this celebrity. I'm going to go ahead and show you who this is. I don't know if you recognize that guy. That is Burt Teddy. I mean, can we not just say that Burt Teddy is a pretty influential and big celebrity in our world? So what Jesus is saying is, essentially, when you, see this is you, when you go to the party, the tendency is going to want to be to choose this seat right here, to choose a seat right next to the really important person because you think you're pretty important. And look how important I am. I'm going to sit right here next to Burt Teddy because that's where I want to be. That's the place of importance. And what Jesus is saying is, hey, you may not want to sit there because you may be thinking about yourself a little bit too highly. And what happens if somebody actually more important or more deserving than you are, more deserving than you think you are, comes and sits? It's going to be super embarrassing when the host comes up and says, hey, we actually have a seat for you down here. But what Jesus is saying is what we really need to do is seek out sitting at this seat right here. Because how much better is it for us when we sit over here and we recognize that we maybe are not as important as other people? And then what happens is maybe you get rewarded and somebody sees you and says, hey, we got a better seat for you over here. See, here's what Jesus is saying. What's important in this story, in this parable, is not about being honored. It's not about going down here and being honored and eventually moving up. What Jesus was saying is important is it's about humility. Being humble. It's about our humility. Here's what humility means. Humility means you see and put others before yourself. Humility means I'm going to see other people. I'm going to treat the people around me. It's black. It doesn't really show up. But I'm going to treat the people around me. I'm going to act as though the people around me are actually better than me. They're actually more deserving than me. They may not be. They may be. But what humility says is I am going to treat everyone around me as though they deserve something that I think I deserve. Humility means you see and put others before yourself. Having humility in your heart, ultimately, what Jesus wanted the people to know, that in my kingdom, I want you to understand this, in the world that I've created it to be the way it's supposed to be, having humility in your heart will change the way that you treat others. When you have humility, it changes the way that you see people and the way that you treat them. And here's the thing. Jesus wasn't teaching this just to kind of have a good lesson. Jesus actually modeled this. This is exactly what Jesus did. Jesus was the person who should be sitting way down here. He was God. He was the king. He was the creator of everything. And he came down to earth and didn't assume this spot. Jesus actually assumed the spot right down here, even though he deserved everything. He acted as though he was one who didn't deserve it. And he actually came to serve. Like, that was the kingdom he was setting up. He said, there's a new way of doing things. Hey, the world is going to tell you, do everything you can to put yourself in a place of honor. Put yourself in a place to be noticed. Jesus said, you put other people there, and you humble yourself. And then when you humble yourself, I am going to exalt. Not the world. I will exalt. That's the way that Jesus lived. He lived a life of humility. See, humility helps us see the value in other people. When we have humility, we see other people as valuable. It reminds our hearts that the person we are serving is loved by God and is important to Him. I mean, think about how that could play out right now. We're stuck at home. We're stuck seeing the same people over and over again, and it could be really easy to see their faults. And seeing other people's faults always makes us think that we're better. When you see someone not as good at you, somebody who's messing up or isn't just in the same level as you in something, it's really easy to get puffed up and think that we're really important. What if you chose to see people as if they deserved better than you? What if you started putting others first and treating them the way that you would want to be treated? Here's what I think would happen. Here's the truth. And the bottom line today is that putting others first changes us and our relationships for the better. When we put other people first, when we have humility, when we put people ahead of ourselves, it changes us and it changes our relationships for the better. Two things I want you to think about as you get ready to go into small group. One thing is this: what is one way you can practice humility? We've been practicing a lot. We've been practicing this thing called social distancing. If you watch the news, they say we need to practice social distancing. What if instead of just practicing social distancing this week, we practiced one way? We did one thing where we could practice humility. What is that one thing you could do? What is the one thing that you could do to practice humility this week with your friends, with your family, with your parents, with your younger sibling, with your older sibling? How can you practice humility? And notice, it's not how can you perfect humility. We will never be perfect at humility. The desire for us to be better than others or to be seen as better than others is always going to be a part of us. That's why we're saying practice. It takes practice. You're never going to be perfect at it, but it doesn't mean we shouldn't practice humility. So what is one thing you can do this week to practice humility? The second thing I want you to think about before you go into small group is this, and this might be a little bit of a harsher question. What is one way I see myself as better than others? What is one way that you know that you always see yourself as better than others? My challenge to you is to turn that on its head and say, what is a way that I can now show humility in this area? So maybe asking yourself that second question, how do I see myself as better than others, might lead you to knowing how you can practice humility. And we do this, guys, because putting other people first leads you to knowing how you can practice humility. And we do this, guys, because putting other people first